My first cancer was 20 years ago at the age of 42. I had found a lump, and 2 years before I had had a benign lump. So I was under the care of getting mammograms. And I had lost my grandmother and my aunt to breast cancer on my father's side. And they used to always say, oh, we're not so concerned about the male side. You know, and I never quite understood that. So when I was diagnosed the first time, they said, you know, I come from a family of 9 children, and I had lost my sister 2 years before. She had colon, and then she had lung cancer. But I was number 8th child, and there wasn't any other breast cancer. So they really didn't think I carried the BRCA gene. At the time in 1998, there really was only being tested for the BRCA in studies. So it wasn't something that, like nowadays, you hear the BRCA gene and it's like an automatic. So the BRCA gene is a genetic mutation that you are more likely to get cancer, breast or ovarian, if you carry the BRCA gene. Now, just because you carry it does not mean you will get the gene, get the cancer. So I was not tested, and I went on to have chemo, radiation, and everything seemed fine. And through the years, doctors, I would kind of ask them about that. Do you think I should be tested? I was only 42. No, we really think it would be 5 years, 6 years, and it would be down the line, and nobody else had been diagnosed with breast or ovarian. So then my daughter, who at the time of my first diagnosis was a teenager, my son was only 9 the first time I was diagnosed, and as she got older, her doctors started questioning that your mother was awful young. I think you should be tested. And they said, but your mother needs to be tested first. And I would talk to my doctors, and then I'd call my insurance and say, oh, we don't cover that now, you know, and it's like $5,000. So I'd say, you know, it's been so many years. And keep on going, past, and after 15 years, I was diagnosed with a second breast cancer. And the doctor said, if you carry the BRCA gene, this time it's part of your treatment plan, we're automatically going to be testing you. You will need a double mastectomy and then your ovaries out. So I said, well, if I don't carry it, I'd like to go the same route. I'd like to do radiation, the lumpectomy, just like I did last time. So it was taking really long to get results of the BRCA gene because everybody then was being tested. Doctors, it was becoming part of a treatment plan. So I said, well, you know what? I'm not waiting a month to get those results. So let's go with the lumpectomy. We knew I needed chemotherapy. I had a high-grade tumor. And so we did the lumpectomy, and during chemo is when I found out I did carry the BRCA gene. So I finished chemo, and then I had a double mastectomy, and then a few months after that, I had my ovaries and fallopian tubes out. So during chemo, my daughter, in the meantime, was tested, and I found out that she was negative. And this was 2013, and since that time, 9 family members have been tested, and 7 have been positive. My daughter is a negative, and so is a niece. Now, the good news with that, none of them have had cancer. Some are much younger. One is my sister, who is 10 years older, never had cancer. One is my brother, who is 4 years younger, never had any type of cancer. And his 2 daughters are also positive. So they are actually in a study and getting mammograms, MRIs. Another niece is also positive, and she too is getting mammograms, MRIs every 6 months now. So they're staying on top of it. And I think too, they all have young children. One of them is not married. And I think there's going to be some good strides being made in that maybe they don't have to do the drastic step I had to do. But they also haven't had cancer. So I think my whole choices I made were based on having breast cancer twice high-grade tumors. And the first time it had traveled to the lymph nodes. So,
what was the time frame between the first diagnosis and the second diagnosis?
1998 and 2013, 15 years. So I was on tamoxifen for about 4.5 years, and that was, my plan was to be on it 5 years. I started showing too many side effects. So did that give me a good base to keep it that long? Or, you know, I tried to live somewhat of a healthy lifestyle. And so it's hard to say, because they didn't think I would carry the BRCA gene because there were so many years in between. I started getting a lot of swelling in the legs, and they were afraid of blood clots. So I would have the Doppler test, and I did not have blood clots, but it kept being ongoing. And then I had to go through a few endometrial biopsies for irregular bleeding. So then they said, okay, you need to get off this. So now, the second I am on a Arimidex, and I'm starting to show a lot of the side effects for, you know, that was 2013, now it's 2017, so we're weighing the options, because I've had it twice, they would like me to be on it either 10 years or lifetime. There's really, you know, it's kind of, yeah.